Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Fight Me Bro betting show. This week, we're here to break down UFC Fight Night, not Fight Island, correct? Or is this on Fight Island?
No, I think this is I think we're in Vegas for the next 4 months or something.
All right, so
Maybe not four
UFC
months, but
first first Vegas event, main event, which is Alistair Overeem versus Alexander Volkov. Actually, a sneaky good card. I have nothing slated for this weekend. I think so. Chicago, you were telling me I'm supposed to be 80 tomorrow. We're expecting like another like 10 inches of snow, and then it's gonna drop to 5 degrees tomorrow. So it's just gonna be one of those days where like there's just mounds of snow and it's freezing cold, and it looks like the scene in Day After Tomorrow where they're just walking through the town.
yeah,
So
but listen, let's not get any misconceptions here. I
mhm,
don't miss that at all.
mhm.
Okay, which is also a funny thing, not a funny thing, and I'm not surprised by this at all. But while we're at it, sort of off topic, but all the people that said like you're gonna miss seasons, like not being in Chicago for the
Mhm.
winter, are so wrong. Like I just don't care. Like
Yeah,
not seeing snow does not bother me one bit, but in a day like this, it's all. I mean,
it's a great gambling card for
yeah, for
like being
that
like
day, like
everything's
that's a,
shitty out, and you like,
like
well, I guess I'm just gonna get some whiskey and get really house and just watch sports and
and
gamble
just order
because
food all day.
because
Like
yeah,
it's
you're
like the
almost forced to because like you're in Florida, it's a Saturday night, it's nice out, you're gonna be like, fuck, I gotta go out, which is great Graham time, but sometimes it is nice to be like, no, I guess I'm forced to just stay in and give in to my vices.
literally the
Boo
toughest.
hoo.
Yeah, like the toughest decisions. Like here are the list of I guess yeah, you phrase it like that. Like here are the list of decisions I have to make today. There's no I gotta find something to wear. Like, are we going to a nice place, casual place, beach bar, fancy restaurant? How late are we staying out? What's the blah blah blah? It's like no, you don't have any of that. Like the decisions you need to make are who am I betting on, and what food am I ordering when, and
Exactly.
what
What
like
time?
what
Yep.
is what is the meal food? Like, are we going pizza? Are we doing Mexican? Am I doing Chinese?
Are you in
What
two
are
two orders? Like, am I getting
Oh yeah,
something
are you doing
early,
a
like a
lunch and a late
pizza?
night?
Yeah. Am I doing some early, like a lot of pizza early, or am I doing something like, all right, I'm gonna pick up some to start, and then I'm gonna get a late night snack,
And then
maybe
what's
some
the
next.
snacks look like?
Yeah,
Like those
exactly.
are the decisions you have to make. And sometimes knowing that, because those are typically, unless they fuck up the ordered food,
Hmm.
I mean, your bets could always also all go to shit, which
Yeah.
was not happening. We're turning the ship around this week. But let's put that aside. Let's say you even just break even. The food could always suck, but realistically speaking, like it's probably not going to if you order from a pretty safe pizza place that you're
Hmm.
familiar with. And two, snacks always deliver. So
Yeah.
I mean, like you could get a
The
Kit Kat.
snacks are the healing of the wounds a lot of the time. Like, you know what? Well, at least I have M&Ms. At least I
Yeah,
had some money for some M&Ms. And the thing is, the orders on the Ubers or the Uber Eats is always super heavy and like before the card because in your head you're like, this is just a business expense. It's like a business lunch. Like, I'm just
yeah,
gonna write it up on the company card, which is today's gambling winnings, and
yeah.
then
Which
you're
is
like, it's gonna
bet
pay for
number one.
itself.
You just
Yeah, I already
like
won.
bet number one, you win, and it's like
Oh,
food's
that
a
paid for the
wash.
Uber. I mean,
Yeah.
that paid for the Uber Eats. Like, I'm good to go. And then you're
All
like,
right,
oh,
now
wait, I
we're at
lost it.
even.
The next one is going to pay for it. Then you're just down. You're like, and I had that. Well, at least I have M&Ms at the end of
Yeah.
the so that's how I plan on spending my day. I do plan on winning this bet, even though we were just talking off camera. I don't know how much I like the lines. I said sometimes you just got to mold the lines to make them look like you want them to like them. So I have five
Yeah, I'm
bets in
curious
this.
to see how you justify that.
Yeah. All right. I have five bets. Nick has three. So I'll get started. Let's go. Okay, I'll tell you how you do it. So Dariush versus Carlos Diego Ferreira. Dariush actually has a win over Diego Ferreira, which I always like as most of the
Mental
times if you can
edge.
beat him once, you can beat him twice. Although in
Big
this
mental
case,
edge.
Dariush has gone from like a very like he out grappled what's his name Fajera and was he beat him that way. That's not how Dariush wins anymore. Dariush is trying to fuck. He's not trying to grapple anymore. He's trying to knock your fucking head off in crazy fucking fashion. So that's what I'm gonna take because he's not scared on the ground of Fajera, which most people are, and he already has a regular win over him. He kind of seems like he's in the part of career where he's like it just says like he's saying fuck it, man. Like he really looks like he's going out there and saying fuck it. It's either I'm
Looking for
getting
those
killed
win
or he's getting
bonuses.
killed. So right now it's at like a minus 115. I molded that line. I'm doing Dariush by TKO plus 410.
Wait,
I feel
just
like if
Dariush is minus 115?
So Dariush straight up is minus 115. I'm not
Oh,
taking it.
really? Fuck!
Yeah,
I should have checked it. I should have updated this. I was doing all my like. I
I
looked
think
at
I
this
could
like
be a little
late.
bit off, but
I looked at this late last night, and he was plus 105 still.
yeah, so it's close. But him by TKO is plus 400.
Minus 105 still.
Yeah, so like he's knocked out his last two, man. He shows that he has fucking power, and it shows that's what he wants to do. So I'm gonna take him to do it plus 410.
Okay, well, I was gonna let you rip a couple, but I have Dariush. I had it as plus 105. I guess it's minus 105. Cannot take away from the mental edge.
Yep.
The win over is kind of the big selling point here. The thing that makes me a little nervous is I do like these two are both on pretty impressive runs actually.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes me a little nervous is Fajera has. I mean, he beat Anthony. He beat Anthony Pettis, but let's be careful. Anthony Pettis.
Which Anthony Pettis was really out there.
Yeah, exactly. But he did beat Maribek Taisimov, Rustam Kabalov, and Olivier Aubin Mercier. So like Fajera seems like he's kind of figured out that grappling thing.
Yeah.
I mean, Taissimov's a striker, but Kabalov and Mercier are the only thing they want to do is grapple.
Yeah.
Dariush wins over Holtzman, Close, and Drew Dober. So those are, I mean, this honestly buried in a lot of other fights that could be very exciting. What I do have down, this sneaky could end up being fight of the night.
Really, it could.
Very sneaky. So this, like you said, Dariush barn burner. I trust him to kind of just will it over with cardio. Not saying that Fajera has bad cardio, but Dariush gets in these slugfests where it's almost impossible to have good cardio.
Mm-hmm.
And you just think it. How do I want to put this? This is like some of the worst analysis I feel like I've ever done, but it's one of those things where like when you get into these swing 'em, drag 'em out brawls, I don't care how in shape you are, you just get tired. Like the adrenaline just goes. It's not the GSP, cool, calm, calculated.
Yeah.
Okay, jab hits here, and it where you know what you're doing, right? Anybody that's been in there, or whether it's wrestling, jujitsu, boxing, Muay Thai, whatever, if you know what you're doing and it's action, reaction. I have a plan. You get tired way less fast than if it's just than if you're just scrambling. Like you see these wrestling matches and it's like, oh wow, that was a 2-minute scramble, and then both guys are exhausted and then they're just like hanging on each other's heads. Same thing. Boxing, people start winging punches. You get the Andrei Arlovsky, Travis Brown going for 3 minutes, and then those guys both can barely stand up. You didn't know who was getting knocked out, but you knew someone was because they could barely stand up. Dariush lives in that zone. So I think this fight, you
guys just really adapted it. I was born in the darkness. He's born in the crazy. He knows. He loves it being in like the chaos. And especially because he beat the guy before, I think he's not going to hold back from going to that chaotic place against a guy he's got to win over. He's like, what do I got to lose?
Yep. Dariush minus 105. I do actually really like that pick.
Yeah. So I'm probably gonna end up taking both night of, but that plus 410 is just too juicy. Not for a guy as reckless as Dariush. It's like, oh, if he went out there and knocked him out, I wouldn't be that surprised. And 410 should be a little less than that. So I'll go to my next one. This one, I don't know left from right, up from down. At one point, I almost considered making this my lock because it was so ridiculous. Clay Guida plus 185. I'm hammering him. I almost was gonna be like, just to test to see, like, all right, let me just figure shit out. Let me get my bearings. So let me put 48-year-old Clay Guida as my lock of the week.
Yeah, I think he is legit 40.
Is he?
Yeah, which is fucking nuts.
Damn. He's looked it for years. He's looked it since he was 20. But I mean, cardio is something that has just stuck around for him. And if you just, I actually really like this matchup because it is just like, one, it's two guys that I think we both, I think we both know aren't going to make like a title run. I think let's get that out of the fucking, like, they're not prospects.
Was there anyone that was considering that was a possibility?
No, I'm saying, so this is one of those matches where it's like, okay, these guys, we know they are who we thought they were. And they're conflicting styles. It's like Michael Johnson's the type that wants to showboat, stun on you, clip you, highlight knockout. Clay Guida wants to make it ugly and grind you out, bring his lunch pail, clock out, fucking first man in for last man out type of shit. Yeah. And I just got to bet on that style. It's just,
it's tripped up Michael Johnson too many times.
It's the exact type of style that would be like, dude, if he can't put out Clay Guida, which is not the biggest can't ever, because Clay Guida is old as fuck. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if he just goes out there and beats him in the first round. But if Guida like ends that first round and he doesn't look like he's beat to shit, I still have faith on his cardio that he's gonna win out an ugly decision. I almost took it by Clay Guida by decision, but it went from like plus 185 to like plus 250. Like, dude, you what? Like that should be they should be giving him way better odds than that. It's like it went up, but granted, I guess it is Vegas and they know Clay Guida ain't knocking anybody out. If he's winning, it's gonna be by decision.
Dude,
But
you know what? I genuinely, I will say, so same as you, I'm just staying away from this. I can't find my ass from my elbow on this one. But this was a really good candidate for the old school daily double. The Michael Johnson knockout, and then either the Clay Guida decision or even juicier, the Clay Guida sub. And Johnson just gives his back in the third and just goes out with
I
like
could
some
see that too, because
there was
Johnson's just like, dude, fuck
primo.
it. What do I got to prove? I'm losing to Clay Guida. I'm just gonna lose.
Well, not even
this
that, but
decision.
dude, do you remember the Darren Elkins fight? He was just butt smashing Darren Elkins, and then Michael, he looked. That was a fight that I even bet on Darren Elkins because he was like a 4-1 underdog. I remember this fight so well, and I'm sitting there watching this fight thinking, not that he turned the corner and he's going to make a title run, but I think Michael Johnson is going to crack. He's going to get to maybe top 5, and then he'll lose and go back down. But I think Michael Johnson's going to be top 5. The jab looked quick, the right hand. I mean, he is. Now, again, it's not that hard to look that impressive against Darren Elkins on the feet, but he did look really impressive. And then he got off the stool for the third round, and it literally looked like someone rammed a vacuum down into his lungs and just sucked every last bit of air out. I just
He'd
remember
done nothing but smoke Black and Milds in between rounds.
Yeah,
just pumping away.
Seriously, dude, just chain smoking Pall Malls, and I'm like, and I'm sitting there thinking, what? This guy's gonna lose. Like, I'm gonna win this bet, and sure as shit, Darren Elkins takedown. Michael Johnson just turtles. I can't even remember if Darren Elkins put both hooks in and just like chokes him from the back with like one hook in, and it's just. That could easily happen in this fight.
It could.
Very easily. So this was a very big candidate for a daily double, but I just decided I just have no idea what's gonna. Michael Johnson will probably win by submission just because I'm so confused.
Because it's so fucking backwards. It's gonna be like, oh, my fucking anaconda choke, and
yeah,
like, oh,
right.
Well, Clay Guida, good to see you in the UFC, man.
Yeah, crazy. Okay, why don't you run another one that I think will be on pace here?
Okay, so my next one, I'm going in the this is the co-main event. I'm going. So this is in the Sandhagen versus Frankie Edgar. Intriguing matchup. I see the route to victory for Frankie Edgar, but I'm not going to take it. Minus 400 though, I think is too much. And so, like you said, it got to mold the lines a little bit. I'm going Sandhagen by decision, minus 105. I think in 3 rounds, Frankie Edgar, I still think, I think there's going to be a portion of the fight where Frankie Edgar is able to take it to the ground and maybe control him there for a little bit. Sandhagen maybe he'll get up, get back to kicking his ass. And so I think Frankie is just going to buy enough time to survive. And I'm just hoping he doesn't get knocked out, or the alternative where Frankie just straight up wins. Like, he could also just straight up go out there, take him down, kind of beat him up. But I think Sandhagen is just going to do a good job controlling the distance, picking him apart, making him have to shoot in. Like I said, maybe there's a partial chance that Frankie takes him down, just because, I mean, with that Aljamain Sterling fight, you could definitely tell there needs to be some work on Corey. Is it Corey Sandhagen or Cody Sandhagen? Corey, right?
I don't know.
Fuck. It threw me off that Cody statement.
It is Corey. Yeah, you had me all fucked up there. It's Corey.
Yeah, so it's like his takedown defense definitely needs some work, and Frankie Edgar, as proven in his Munoz fight, still could take you down. But ultimately, in 3-round fight, I like it at 105. I mean, I think he's gonna win, not at minus 400. I would like, especially I've lost.
That is kind of a crazy line.
I've lost way too many minus 300s and up in the past couple weeks for me to take another one. A lot of those. Literally all of them. Like I've had like 5 like minus 330 to like minus 400, and they all got knocked out
All
too.
loosed.
Yeah.
A lot of loose. Yeah, dude, that's another fight. I really, not a lot that I know about. So next for me, I, dude, so again, hopefully the line didn't change and I'm all fucked up. Oh, look, it changed in my favor, actually. I saw the Reem is going at plus 170. I'm not going to shy away from that. I mean, Volkov's really good, and he put it to
He's the Caitlin Chokagian of the heavyweight division, where
yeah,
he doesn't
that's a
have a whole lot
real
of power, but he can outpoint you, man.
yeah. I mean, he stays long and like here's the thing. I just feel like these guys are going to tie up. I mean, here's the he's really good at outpointing you at range, I guess. And Overeem's gotten really good at just fighting smart. And I know that's such a blanket, generic ass statement. Oh, yeah. Walt Harris was the guy that he just beat up. Yeah. I mean, dude, some of these wins on Volkov, Walt Harris, Greg Hardy. I mean, he lost to Curtis Blades and Derek Lewis, although he was beating the shit out of Derek Lewis pretty thoroughly until he got Derek Lewis. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Something at plus 170. This is a bet the number, not the fighter. I mean, Overeem's old.
I took it as well. That's my
Chin
other
clearly
pick.
deteriorating a bit. Not hard to see. I mean, the Rosenstruik fight, and not that Rosenstruik has a nuclear missile in his right hand, so
Yeah.
fair play to him. But he was getting his ass kicked for 24 minutes and 53 seconds of that fight. So he is a really good example of just a guy that knows that he is basically not on steroids anymore.
Yeah.
And has adapted his fighting style to reflect that he is not on steroids anymore. And he does a great job at it. And the one thing that I will always, I'm trying to think if there's someone at heavyweight, but I can't think of a single person that has better clinch striking than Overeem still, even though he's Tubby Overeem now and not, I think I said Oberheim like Oberweis, but Overeem, like Overeem, like he's a little flabbier now, but he still has pretty brutal knees in the clinch, and I think he's just gonna force clinch again. Volkov doesn't have the power to like ward him off, like you said. I mean, he's gonna keep him away for a little bit, but they'll tie up eventually, and Overeem will kind of score points in over 25 minutes. As long as he doesn't get Phantom knocked out or something,
which
I like that.
The way I look at it, and like I said, I'm taking Overeem at plus 170. I was surprised. I thought he'd be the favorite. I know Volkov has collected some wins, and on paper it looks like, oh yeah, the tall, rangy striker that's good at tall, rangy striker shit. But it's like we're not. That line is like disrespectful to Alistair Overeem. Like he hasn't been on an absolute tear, even out if you take the Rosenstruik loss away, which it should have been a win. He's obviously got knocked out a shit ton. I think 14 times in MMA. But I don't think Alexander Volkov's could be the guy to just like one punch knock out Alistair Overeem. And like you said, he's just been a smart fighter. It doesn't seem like Alistair Overeem is going with the same exact technique of smart fighting in his last like 3 or so fights. It's almost like he's analyzing, being like, okay, how am I going to use what I have left of my skill set and be like crafty with it and then use that. It's not like he has like a committed style. It's almost like his style is like, hey, see how you can use your advantages against this person, and it's always in like a different sort of way, whether it's like try to take him down and ground strike, whether it's trying to like wait out the first round. And so I think he knows like his biggest like task to take care of is the distance, and he's a really fucking good kickboxer, man. Like he's going to be able to handle distance. I know Alistair Overeem is usually the bigger guy, and he's not going to be that in this case, but I don't think there's just going to be like, at the end of the day, I think Alistair Overeem is just a better fighter. Volkov's has the fucking range, but you got to go with Alistair Overeem, man. Who doesn't want an Alistair Overeem title shot for him to like close out his career with? God damn it, the man deserves it, and now he's doing it like off the horse meat too. So he's like, all right, I get it. I stopped doing it, but like, give me a fucking break, okay?
It's literally like it's very akin to the Tom Brady. Just all right, well, I'll prove that I can do it somewhere else too. It's like, I'll prove I can be good without steroids.
Fine, exactly. I'll prove that I could be.
It's not going to look as flashy.
Yeah, but I'll make it work. I get it. I shouldn't have done that, but if you need me to prove that I'm good, I'll do it the other way too. Then I won't just like try to knock people's heads off for the rest of my life.
And
So
also low key though, he has been knocking people's heads off.
he has, and it
His last
looks like
4 wins are all by knockout.
it looks like in fucking way. It's like, you know how when boxing coaches say like, don't try to knock him out and then you'll knock him out. It almost seems like that's where he's doing it from. Like he'll get on top and then he's like in a position where he's hurting him, and it's like, wait, you can just finish this guy from here. It's heavyweight, and then he does finish it. It's like
Yeah.
he'll just get it. He'll start like piling it on, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, he's about to finish the guy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's not with that like, I'm just gonna run, overpower you, try to just like knock you out. It's almost like he gets in an advantage position and then just capitalizes. And so it's been great to watch. I just don't want that to end, because he says he's like, I got like a couple more fights. This is his last title run, so he knows. And I think Volkov might be a big enough name that if he wins, give him. I mean, we got John Jones lined up, but like,
yeah,
an
that's the
Overeem
problem.
John Jones matchup, an Overeem Francis matchup, an over a rematch. Actually,
Dude,
that
I
would
think
be
he just
sad.
might be too
That might
old
be too sad if he
for
gets a
John Jones.
Could you imagine if they do Overeem Francis 2 for the belt?
And he just gets his head ejected again.
Yeah, just retire. He's like, this is my retirement fight, and it's even more to the moon. Actually, snaps it off. Like this time, it's unfinished
It's
business.
million
That neck,
dollar babies it.
yeah, that neck doesn't deserve to be attached to that body anymore, and Francis knows that. So he's going to just finish what's not undone.
That's a tough. Yeah, I mean, I think he's got the people's vote, so we'll see what happens. But I actually do really like that line. A lot of value there.
Yeah,
Lot of bet the number value there.
yeah.
Okay, lock for me is you already had the fight, but I'm taking the rounds on Edgar Sandman. They that over 2.5 at -185. I know it's typically a little steep for a lot. I mean, I try not to flirt with that
Mhm.
-200 because obvious pick is obvious locks, but -185 over 2.5, like it, it just seems like the kind of fight that what you said was going to happen. Like, I don't know. I really don't know. It could be three. I mean, Frankie Edgar, if you can survive 3 rounds with Pedro Munoz, you definitely have the capability to survive 3 with Corey Sandhagen.
His chin has shown that it's still there, at least, where it's like
I mean,
maybe
it gets
there's certain,
checked
yeah,
sometimes for
hmm
sure,
hmm
but it not all the time.
yeah.
It's not glass. I don't know. Take that for what it's worth. But the thing with where I see it is there's too many ways. I really don't see Frankie Edgar ending this one early. I just
I
not
don't
seeing
think
that happening. He doesn't
I
have the
didn't even know that was a
submission.
possibility.
Yeah, he doesn't have the submission prowess of a Sterling. And so I think if he wins, it's what you were talking about. He still can get takedowns. That's a thing that can happen still. So he outpoints Corey, or you're going to see Corey just kind of pick this guy apart on the feet. But I just, like you said, it'd be tough to imagine Frankie getting put away. And not that, and Corey hits with power, but he just seems, I don't know if he hits with
It's more,
stopping.
but like it's more like death by like volume and being like overwhelmed by that. And I could see Frankie just like, he's got great cardio and he's able to, I think he can just like weather the storm, and like get out of bad situations versus like,
Right.
just letting it get piled on
He could get
too much.
rocked and
Yeah.
he'll scramble and clinch and
Mhm.
do something. He'll find a single leg,
Yeah.
something. But I just like that
But
over 2.5. It seems really unlikely to me that someone's getting put away
and it's
really
at
early in this one.
135 too, where it's like, dude, this guy's fought at 155 and 145, and now he's at 135. It's like, yeah, he got fucking nuked by the Korean zombie. Look at the Korean zombie's huge, man. Guy walks around
Yeah,
at probably 175, where it's like Sandhagen is a bigger dude, but it's a wiry guy, and it's like, yeah, guys like Max Holloway has poured it on, but we're a little bit smaller. Um, I'd be surprised. Well, not surprised, but I think I like Frankie's chance of survival in 3. In 5, I think Sandhagen finishes him.
yeah. I think that number probably changes for me,
Yeah.
but yeah. So over 2.5. That's my lock.
I like that. My lock, this is actually a replacement fight, but it's Cody Stamen versus Askar, which Come on, bro. Get a better fucking name. Steve Stevens over here, like Askar, John, Bol. What the fuck? What kind of name is that? But besides the point, I'm going Stamen here. He's like minus 400 something. Again, molded the line by decision, minus 140. That's just like Stamen's really, really fucking good. I guess this other guy's like pretty decent. Some with a name like Askar, he's
Can't bet on
definitely
a
from
name
the
like that.
asshole of Dagestan or something. Like you know
Yeah.
where he's from.
You can't bet on a name like that.
Yeah, he's not from fucking Kansas City, Missouri. All right, we know that. And
Yeah.
Cody Stamen like is that guy. He's gonna try to wrestle you. The Askar guy probably has pretty decent wrestling, but Cody Stamen has shown that he's got like top tier wrestling, and unless you have like elite wrestling, you're gonna have a bad time. And he's just good everywhere. He's just not good in the most exciting fashion. So I just see like a 3-round decision here. Yeah, there's always a chance when you're a minus 400 favorite that maybe he finishes him, but I think it's just going to be like, oh, this is just an outclassing. Basically, Stamen's partner backed out. I don't know who was his partner supposed to be. It was supposed to be a banger.
I forgot. It was supposed to be a really good fight.
It was supposed to be good. So I think this one is just a fight.
It was like another guy that was like Cody Stamen.
Yeah,
They
like
were very similar styles, but you just kind of.
Oh, was it Casey Kenny?
Yes.
Was it? Yeah.
Yes.
What did they pull him out for? Fucking disrespecting Megan Anderson?
Disrespecting, yeah, hating women, I guess.
Damn, that is a good fight. So yeah, this fight is just a safe fight for him to like kind of showcase some of those same skills where he's like, okay, it's gonna be in a wrestling match. It's gonna be in a, you know, it'll be it's I think it'll be an easy win for Cody Stamen. I just hope it's not too easy and he just goes out there. But Stamen's not the type of guy that's gonna be like, I'm going out there just trying to knock you out. It's like he's trying to get a little bit of boxing in. He's trying to mix in some wrestling. He's trying to show off some things. So I like that at minus 140. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I fucking love my card. I love the card I put together, which is scary because I've not been hot if you guys have been following along. But hey, I had a week to recoup, get it back. This is gonna get me some spending cash for the real game, which man, I guess we usually give out our fucking we forgot this year to give out our Super Bowl picks. I haven't done any research yet. So
I know that the Chiefs are -3, which is
I'm gonna tease it. Teases
How?
have brought me a lot of fucking
you can
like
do a one game tease.
You could do like the over under and you could tease over under and then the team as well. I just know there teams late down the stretch saved me a bunch. But goddamn, did the MMA fights bring me down a good amount? Those MMA fights and some
dude,
key college football.
It's so tempting. Like this is one of those Super Bowl bets. I feel like the game, at least, that I'm just there's no fucking good game, man. We were out of the number by 2 points. There's none of that. You're either gonna take Chiefs -3 and they're gonna win by fucking 60, and you're just gonna be like, of course, like obviously, like, they're the best team. Or you take Bucks +3, and it's just gonna be like all the makings for Bucks are down 1, 2 minutes and 30 seconds to go on their own 10, and you just know, okay, we could turn.
He's got to get him.
Yeah, you're just like, we could turn this off. Yeah. Like we know, and it's just gonna be the easiest money either way. But then if you took the other way, so in that instance, you take Chiefs -3 and Brady has the ball on his 10. You're just like, what? Why would I bet against?
You're already texting your bookie. Tom Brady just completed the first down move to change. You're already texting your bookie. You're going to be late on squaring up.
Yeah,
this week.
Yeah.
You're already telling him like, I'm going to be short, man. Like I know where this is going and I'm about to lose a lot of money.
Yeah, because it's just one of those games where I just can't see the number. Like the only instance that it would be close is if Brady needs to pull the comeback, but even that, if you're gambling, you know that's not close because he's going to get it.
Exactly.
Like, if
so
you bet
at the end, the end score might be a close score game with a Tom Brady win, but then if you're like, oh, but you just missed the number by 1, and like I was always going to miss the number by 1 with Tom Brady because I bet against Tom Brady. The bet was on Tom Brady and I fucking missed it because he was going to barely beat me if he was going to do it.
Yeah, and you're just gonna feel like a dummy either way. Like you bet Bucks +3, and the Chiefs just come out opening drive, score in 2 seconds, And the rest of the game, you're just going to be sitting there thinking to yourself, why the
Why did I bet
fuck did I
against that
bet on the
offense?
Bucks?
Yeah.
Why was I thinking that this is Tom Brady doesn't play defense? Why did I think that there was a defense in existence that could stop
Yeah.
the Chiefs? It's the same thing. It's just one of those games.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Yeah, so
I don't
it'll
know
be
where I'm leaning because the Chief is just they're a fucking machine, man. It just seems like one of those things that are like really special where it's like, man, yeah, they did go back to back. Like that's a back to back championship team from the beginning. Everyone's like, dude, they're gonna be tough to beat, and they've shown like, man, when they're clicking, no one could beat them. But then Tom Brady is also the same storyline. Like, dude, you can never count that guy out. You just can't count him out. Anything, he can overcome it. It's the sports equivalent of unstoppable force and immovable object. It's like the unbeatable team versus the most winnable man, you know? Like Tom Brady just finds a way to win, and it's like, but then how do you beat the Chiefs? It's like, but Tom Brady don't worry about how you beat the Chiefs. It's how you make Tom Brady win. That's what you need to focus on.
That or Tom Brady will figure it out. So yeah, I don't know. And you know what? The other thing I haven't seen a lot of in circulation, no halftime props. I haven't seen. I mean, I know the Weeknd's doing the halftime show. I will say this. So there are some people that are super high. I'm not. Admittedly, I'm not the biggest Weeknd guy. Does have. I mean, obviously, Blinded by the Lights, Bob.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I feel about the halftime show, man. I will say like when he plays Blinded by the Lights, that's gonna be lit.
I like the Weeknd a lot, but I don't like him like a Super Bowl performer though. You know, I think a lot of his hits that people like that are really popular, people don't really even like that much. Like the people that like if that makes sense, like I'm trying to because he's gone so mainstream, a lot of these songs that are quote unquote popular, I think a lot of people have just been like, dude, I fucking hate that song now. Like it's just played to death, or for some reason, it's just like Bruno Mars, a lot of shit was played to death, but you're still like, I get up for this. There's a lot of songs where the Weeknd comes on. I'm like, man, they don't play any of the good Weeknd songs. Like all the good Weeknd songs are just the stuff that are on his albums, and then all the stuff that's like mainstream, it's just like, holy shit, this is like very mainstream. So I have a feeling it's just gonna be a bunch of this mainstream, like kind of like meh hits, and I'll be like, oh well, that kind of sucked. Like I just don't know if
I'm Blinded by the Lights.
Maybe he's got this is a chance for him to prove me wrong.
Maybe he's got some features.
Which this is on a whole, this is maybe walking down a totally different path, and maybe I shouldn't even open up this can of worms. I got in this argument with my girlfriend the other day. I'm like, is there a single possible soul on this planet that
I'm gonna look up what his biggest bops are?
Yeah. But this is completely off subject, but like what is there anyone on this planet that honestly believes that Justin Timberlake ripping off Janet Jackson's I guess nipple cover was an accident? Like it wasn't set up. Like it was actually
you're a stupid person if you think that.
I don't think it's possible. And she was trying to say, she's like, I don't believe it, but I think it's possible. Like, and
no,
she was saying like, I don't know why Janet Jackson got like.
Oh, he does have Starboy was kind of fire. No,
I'm a Starboy. No, that one doesn't do it for me.
Is that how that one goes? I haven't played that song
in a while. Starboy.
I seem to remember that one being good. Hang on. Oh no, that's a bop. That one's a bop.
It's all right. Again, one of those songs that I kind of liked at first, but that was way too played.
What's this one? I Feel It Coming. Is this a?
I like this song. I feel it coming.
Okay, that one's not too bad. I mean, okay, so some of these off of the Starboy album are decent. But like, so here's what's gonna happen. They're gonna play like The Hills.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna be like, bro, this is a mood. Like when Bruno Mars came out and did it, he had 7 locked and loaded grade A jamaroonies.
That's the thing. He has Super Bowl songs. He has Super Bowl halftime songs. I don't know how many Super Bowl halftime songs The Weeknd has. He's got hits, but I don't know if they're Super Bowl. It's like some songs when you hear the first Super Bowl songs, when you hear the first fucking tune, you're like, yes, I know that fucking song. It's not when it plays, I'm like, wait, what song is this by The Weeknd? Like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. It's like,
I mean,
you're waiting that first fucking note, and you're like, that's California Girls, or that's fucking like Katy Perry.
Bad Romance.
Song.
You hear
Yeah, Bad Romance. Lady
and they're just
Gaga.
ready to go.
You know it when you
Even
see it.
last year with J-Lo and Shakira, they
Yes.
tandemed it, and it was great. Where it just, you got Dance the Night Away. You've got God, what is it? I can't even think of the name of the song, but it's not Man Eater. It's like Shakira's song that's kind of like Man Eater, but
Yeah, I
whatever.
know which one you're talking about.
She Wolf.
Yes,
That's what it
yes.
is. Yeah,
and
but like jams
like that's why like Coldplay, because
sucked.
I'm like, they needed like a ton of fucking guests, because like how many songs does Coldplay have that are Super Bowl songs where they go out there and play fucking Yellow? You know, like
which I think they did, didn't they?
I think at some point they did.
It was abridged or something. Didn't they use Yellow to segue into a song?
I think they did. Where it's like, dude, this ain't a fucking Super Bowl song.
That was
like,
easily the worst Super Bowl halftime show in recent memory.
Yeah, not great. Which is like, yeah, I remember
possibly of all time.
Argument at the office once where they were trying to say Adele would make a good Super Bowl halftime show. I'm like, no, she wouldn't. She does, like, don't get me wrong, Adele, super talented, has some very good depressing songs. She does not have the fucking repertoire for a Super Bowl show. There are no songs when you'd be like, you heard the beginning, you'd be like, I am ready to get jazzed for this fucking Adele song.
I think
it's like, no, I'm ready to go cry.
We need to holster our rankings and do one soon of people that haven't done the Super Bowl that should.
That should have been our good unofficial rankings this week, is top Super Bowl halftime shows. We might have to do a late rankings for next week and be like, hey, in honor of last week, and just go through and see what are the best fucking shows.
Yeah, because there's definitely.
I'd have to go and rewatch. I think you would have to put Justin Timberlake up there because it was so shocking. The fucking
dude, and that was peak JT.
Yeah, that was iconic. Which, circling back to the point, I'm like, think of the alternative if you think she didn't know her titty was going to be ripped out. Justin Timberlake, who has been squeaky clean for 30 years at the height of his career, just decided on stage, hey, you know, it'd be really funny. I'm going to show this girl's titties. And like, that just doesn't matter. Like JT, the lovable JT that we've all known his whole career, and he still has never got in trouble for any weird shit, any sex shit, anything like that. But on the grandest of stage, he just decides, hey, fuck it. You know what the world needs to see? More Janet Jackson titties, which is pretty fucking ridiculous. All right, well, those are our bets for this week and a little bit of Super Bowl talk. You can find us as we live tweet these bets at Below the Belt MMA. You can find me always at Broliva, and you can find Nick at _a guy and a gi. Until next week, peace out, y'all.